Kathy here today, and I'm here with somebody really unique and interesting. I'm so excited to introduce you to Tony Tobin of Adams Music House. Hey, Tony.
Hey, Kathy. Thanks so much for featuring us. This is really exciting. I've really been looking forward to this. We started Adam's Music House in March of 2017. You can see Adam behind me here. I actually taught him when he was a young boy. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us, and his father wanted to honor his memory with Adam's Music House. And of course, I was a logical person because I knew the father of the grandfather, and then, of course, I knew Adam. And the grandfather actually taught at UT in the 1960s. So we have his two Bösendorfer pianos, one, this 220 centimeter one that has extra keys, beautiful instrument, and then another one, which is a beautiful instrument. And so we're able to have two piano things. We just hosted, UT hasn't been able to do much because of the pandemic. So we just hosted yesterday a student recital from a DMA person, and we were so happy we could offer this to her free of charge. I'm a Steinway artist. I usually am touring in Switzerland and I play in Japan. And I did a movie about Debussy's piano and Brive Le Gaillard, which took me over a year to get in to be able to play this piano.
Wow.
So I have a doctorate from UT in piano, and I was at USC for my master's, and I went to the Eastman School for my undergrad. So this is my life passion. And our owner and I started this, and we've had many, many master classes and performances, and we pay the people who come to give the master classes, but we don't charge the participants. The idea is to be a community service as much as possible. The one, paying side of it that I would like to build up is I do teach privately, mainly on Zoom right now, though I do have a couple of people come in person, and of course I can't wait for the time when we can do it all in person again. We'll
Yes,
go that way.
hopefully soon.
We hope. But we have a huge room in the back with actually very unique scores that his father had collected. We have another library room with a stereo system, and we hope to have groups come, music groups, appreciation groups, and, even have meetings. Even, maybe we'd watch the Met broadcast or we'd watch something else. We've had, Rigel has this songwriters group, and we hosted them for their final performance. And so we very much want to be a community resource. This is the Rigel Thurston, that's his name. And of course, we haven't stopped completely. We actually have, it's not weekly right now, but in the middle of the pandemic back in March, we started a Wednesday concert series at 6. And so it was weekly for many months until, life kind of started up again. So people weren't always so available. But and then I often will play on Sunday afternoons. The next one will actually be March 14th. But, we really want to be community oriented and provide a service. I mean, that's really the whole hope here.
So, are you broadcasting these concerts and whatnot on?
Yes. Right now, of course, they're all exclusively. I was here yesterday with our owner, our founder. But other than that, and then the husband of the girl that played, but we're still very much not really open to the public, but on Zoom. And of course, we provide these links. We have we have a web page, adamsmusichouse.org, but a lot of this is through Facebook too, the Adams Music House Facebook page. And we've had a lot of people in the community. We've had people from Switzerland and Japan and China, and it's been, anywhere from 20 to 60 people. It's really been a wonderful way, especially at the darkest times when we started and people were all kind of disconnected. We wanted to have a sense of connection, so this was great. And this is what Adams is all about. It's all about connecting, the music with people, and of course with the Windsor Park neighborhood. We like to be a part of this. The owner of Adams actually, as a little boy, lived for several years in the house next door. So when this house came available, he just bought it. And yeah, it's a nice place to be here.
What a wonderful story. I I can't believe I haven't heard this. This is amazing. So how has the Windsor Park community kind of rallied around you, maybe even during COVID?
Well, We have had people come to the Wednesday evening concerts. We've had quite a few people from the community come to that, and luckily the woman next door, one of them on this side, Natalie Crawford, had been a piano teacher in the Austin area for decades. So she's of course very supportive. I mean, because these pianos aren't quiet, so I'm sure she hears them over there. So she's been a great support. And there was one point when someone actually tried to break into the library room, and the people on the street chased him to Cameron Road. They didn't catch him, but they saved us. They protected us. It was, of course, it was the window was sort of plastic, so it gave. But he threw a brick. It didn't go through it. But they really, I think people in this area, they have your back, as they say, and they've been very. I think they're very happy to have us here.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Oh, so other services. So if someone wanted to take piano from you, even if it's only Zoom right now, they could just go to the website and sign up.
Yes, they could. Well, they could contact me. They could either contact me through the adamsmusichouse.org,
Okay.
or they could actually contact me easily through Telegraph, underline M as in man, T as in Tom, N as in no, at yahoo.com. Or should I give my phone number? Would that be?
You can, and I'll put it in text
Okay.
on the bottom.
So that would be 512
Mhm.
585 8477. We want to have all kinds of people. If you don't have so much money and you're in we can work something out. I have quite a range of fees, depending.
That's wonderful.
Like I have some of the younger kids, it's at the lower end because I want them, I want to encourage them. That's fundamentally our point, is to encourage an appreciation of the art and to branch out and to connect people. That's really what we're about.
I love it. We had a piano for a while, and it was the piano my parents had gotten me when I was born, and it was old, and we never played it. And we moved it like 5 times and finally gave it to someone who played. And oh, I miss it. I, even though we
It
didn't play it.
Well, you never know. You could pick it up again. You could always find another one.
Or start
It's
with the
fun.
keyboard, maybe.
Well, maybe. I mean, I'm an advocate of the piano because the physical connection, to dropping in, to feeling, how we used to say in music that it strikes a chord,
Yes.
and that chord, of course, can refer to the harmony, but it can also refer. I mean, we have strings, right? And so that vibration, I think, people are doing all kinds of, green things and health things, but honestly, there's nothing like the vibration of a musical instrument, to promote health, I think. Honestly, I mean, seriously. So, we have all this electronic stuff, and it's a great way to reach out, but fundamentally, we are, of the earth.
Yes.
Piano is of the earth. Sure, it's a created thing, but this was built by hand, and the wood, it vibrates, and we feel it.
Yeah.
So, I
And so
mean,
you.
certainly, if someone wants to study and they only have a keyboard and they're thinking, well, I can't get a piano, by all means, still contact me.
Mhm.
But for those of you that can have a piano, and of course, once we're open again, we also have a little Yamaha piano in this room. We have options for performances and lessons, and I can't wait until we can do the master classes again. We've had Sophia Gelmson from UT and Patty Wolf from UT and Kiyoshi Tamagawa from Southwestern, and we've had the chair of the department, Brian Marks from Baylor, and Brad Bolin from Baylor, and
Wow.
Fritz Gechter from TAMU in Laredo. And we pay the clinicians who come in and do it, but it's free for all the participating students. And we can't wait. We really were very successful with that. And then, of course, the whole world kind of stopped for all of us.
I know. I know. So you said those pianos are special. Tell me about the pianos themselves.
Well, one of them, this one here, I don't know if you can see, it actually says, it's too dark, but it says Börsendorfer is a special Austrian piano. There used to be many, many piano manufacturers. I mean, any big city worth its weight in salt had one. Boston had dozens. New York had probably more than that. And of course, German pianos. There were English pianos. Cristofori invented the piano in 1712. So the Viennese, I mean, everybody in the 1960s and 50s wanted to go to Vienna to study the piano. This was the dream of everybody. So it's a lighter sound. It's a bright sound, but it has a different color. The Steinway is very much designed for orchestra. Playing a Rachmaninoff piece or a Liszt piece or
Yeah.
the Tchaikovsky concerto. This is different. This piano over here, that one closer to the
Mhm.
wall. it's softer, it's more intimate. The students with less experience are more comfortable playing it because it's just easier, to play. If you have more experience as a performer, this has more depth and you can really get a lot more out of it. I always prefer to play this one in performance. But this one was bought in the 80s, and this one's from the 60s. In fact, the owner of Adams grew up practicing on this little piano. And it's little, it's 6'6". This one is
Right.
7'6". So, we originally wanted to build out in the garage and the family room area, but then, Austin redrew the floodplain. So we're now in the 25-year floodplain and we can't do anything. But we have the space. We've had, when I did a Debussy celebration concert, we have had as many as 50 people here.
Wow.
But we can easily have an audience of 30. And, likewise, if someone wants to do, preferably piano, but we've had violin, we've had cello, we've had different things. If someone wants to do a performance here when we can be not socially distanced, or even socially distanced later, we like to host performances too.
Hmm.
But, to have a piano like this, there probably aren't very many in town. There may not be any others like this in town. They're just not that common.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. So do you guys have plans for the future? Say, I mean, obviously when COVID's over and you're able to have people over, but what else? What else are you thinking?
Well, one thing that we have is a fellowship. We've had two recipients. One was well, actually, they were both from Laredo. Right now, the present fellowship is we have a list of composers. The idea is to use our collection. Not if somebody's playing some recital and they want, to get some money for it. That's not really what this is about. This is to actually use the scores that we have in the back room.
Cool.
And so the idea is that in September, we would have a little meet and greet. Now, it could be a high school student, it could be a college student, it could be an adult. And the idea is in September, we would have a meet and greet where they would play something that they already know. Maybe over the course of the summer, they would have started the composer that they chose, maybe not. And then in December, they would play 15 minutes of this composer and give a 15-minute talk, and they would get $1,000. So something to kind of encourage, use and reach out. And, we have a connection with KMFA, and it might be possible for the recipient to actually perform in the hall in the new
Yeah.
KMFA. So this is something we want to ultimately have happen because it's a beautiful, wonderful new space. And
Very cool.
so this is one of the things we want to do. And, we'll see. It's tough to get things going, but that's a big one that we want to do right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good. If there's ever anything that any of us can do to help support that, let us know.
Well,
Keep in
thank you.
touch. Yeah.
Well, we have to figure out how, we need to have a socially distanced open house or something. We'd love to have some people over. It's still, everybody has a different comfort level too. And of course, with the vaccines and it's just, I think we've all found it hard, but thank you. We really enjoy being part of the community and we'd like to become even more connected to the community.
Absolutely.
People
Yeah.
like you are a big help because, we can't really go knocking door to door.
Yeah.
And the music school, well, the public schools and the private schools, of course, public schools often don't have music anymore. So it's a little bit harder to find a way into the public school. That's something I need to try to figure out. And what I've discovered is that with private schools, they tend to have their own piano teachers who aren't so keen on having, competition or some outside source. Although it really isn't competition, we want to, provide some services.
That could be really neat too. Well, Tony, it was really great getting to know you. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And we look forward to meeting in person soon.
Well, thanks so much. I'm really, really been looking forward to this. I was having some car troubles and actually was afraid I might not be able to get here. And so luckily I'm here. It worked. I didn't feel too flustered. And all of us here at Adams, we can't wait to be able to really start greeting the public and reaching out more in the community. And we really are open to any way possible to do that. So if anybody has any ideas, contact me, 512-585-8477 or at telegraph_MTN@yahoo.com. I'd love to hear from you.
Sounds good.
Thanks a lot.